Perfect. Okay, so I think we're going to begin. We are 11 minutes into time. So hi guys, my name is Catherine. I am the GDSC club lead for ALU Rwanda, and I'm gonna be taking you guys through the info session today. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for signing up. We have a lot in store for you, so just sit back and wait. So first, we're gonna begin with a small icebreaker. So I want to take you guys through a tiny icebreaker. So this is our agenda practically. So we're going to have an agenda. Then we're going to talk about what DSC is. Then we're going to introduce you to the core team, then give you our activities for the term. Then we're going to have our guest speaker. Then after that, we're going to give you our communication channels. Then we can conclude all together. So our icebreaker is practically gonna be testing how much you guys know Google, or practically we're just interacting with how much we know about Google. So we're gonna be doing a Kahoot. So I'd like each and everyone to just go to kahoot.it, and I'm just sharing the game link in a minute. So in the meantime, you should be going to kahoot.it so that I can change my screen. So the game pin is loading, just give it a few seconds. Yes, Olivier, Googlers are allowed to play. You might be a Googler and maybe you don't even know. So yeah, let's see how much you know. It's just a small Kahoot, about 6 questions, that's just to test how much you guys know. So I'm assuming you all can see the game pin. Please tell me if you cannot. Yeah, you can start signing in. We have people coming in. Is there another kid in the call? Who signed in as kid? Guys. So we're about 12 of us in the call. So I'm expecting about 12 people. Then we can begin. So keep signing in. When you're ready, you tell me. Yo, guys. We're having too many Catherines on the call. People, if we share a name, please say. So just sign in, go to kahoot.it, then sign in. Then when you're ready, tell me so that you can begin. So how many are we now? We're about 8 of us. Still waiting for 4 more. Oh yeah, by the way, yesterday was Olivier's birthday. Was it yesterday or today? So happy belated birthday, Olivier.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, it was yesterday.
So we have 9 people coming in, 3 more. The remaining 3, please tell us if you're playing so that you can start. or if we should wait for you. We have another person who just came in. We're having a Kahoot game. So you can join quickly so that we all begin together. Seems there's no one else joining. So someone just left. Okay, let's just begin. Nice. Okay, let's start. Okay. 11 people are coming in. Okay, I think we can begin then. So, how much do you know about Google? Let's start. So, general question, have you left your house today? Have you left your house today? Are you guys able to see? Mm-hmm. 3 people have not left their houses today. Why? Stop staying in their house. Let us stop being homebodies, guys. Please leave your house. These are tough times. Leave the house, people. Leave the house. Stop being homebodies. I equally left. So this one was testing how fast you are. So we have Kate at the top. Kate. Okay, fine. Next. So when was Google founded? I'm just giving you a year, general year. When do you think Google was founded? Is it 1996, 1998, 2004, or 2001? Give your answers. 2 seconds to go. And it was 1998. 1996 people. At least not say 2004. You guys are smart. 2001. Interesting. Okay. But yes, Google was founded in 1998. You can go on Google again and check. So next question. So right now, who do we have at the top? Catherine too. Okay. If you're going to use my name, at least be at the top. That's nice. It's nice. Next. True or false question. Google's original name was Google. So fun fact, Google was not Google's original name. There was a name before that. So is it Google, G-O-O-G-O-L, or there was another name? So give your answers. This should be
These
easy.
questions are so hard.
This is actually quite easy. Like I'm handing the answer to you guys. Okay, this is interesting. We're split. So some people are saying it's true, others are saying it's false. So it's false. Fun fact, Google's original name was called back rub, like rubbing your back rub. I don't know where they got that name from, but yeah, it's something to do, it's something techie. So just go check. The original name was actually called back rub, but Google, this one, G-O-O-G-O-L, was the inspiration to the name Google. So it was practically what inspired the name, more or less. So let's go to our next question. Who do we have at the top? Let us see. Tony. Okay. We see you. Oli coming in second. Kate coming in third. At least you have the 2 Kates at the top. I said if you're going to use my name, please be on the podium. Please. So question 4, which of the following is not a Google Developer Community Program? So we have programs that are run by Google, other than all the techie stuff that they do. So we have all these programs here: Digital Green, Google Developer Groups, Developer Student Clubs, and Women Tech Makers. I'm making life easier for you guys. This is a Developer Student Club, so you should already know. So I'm giving you 3 answers to work with. So the answer is Digital Green, exactly. So we have Google Developer Groups. Yes, they are also there. Developer Student, who said Developer Student Clubs? Surely, guys. And the last one is Whereas the Women Tech Makers, Women Tech Makers is actually a program by Google, which works with women in tech. So if you're a lady in the group, please go check them out. They're equally as interesting as this club over here.
A quick one.
The answer is Digital
one.
Green. Digital Green
Can you hear me?
I think it's a program by
God.
Microsoft, if I'm not sure.
I guess not.
But we're here to talk about Google, so forget what I said. So yeah, we have Kate at the top. Yeah, go girl. I said if you're gonna use my name, stay at the top. So yeah, Kate, then Caleb. Okay, Caleb short. Then Tony. Tony, what's up? I feel like you're the one who wrote Google Developer Student Clubs, but okay.
I think she can't hear us.
It's Spongy. Okay.
Kate, I think she can't hear us.
Next.
I just wait.
Google's first office was a garage in California. Is it true or false? Was Google's first office a garage in California? True or false? It's true. Yes, it is actually true. For those who are saying it's false, I don't know if you've heard of this meme that goes around when people are being asked, especially computer science students are being asked, like, why don't you have a big startup? And people are like, I don't have a garage. Because practically every startup is normally created in a garage. Look at Apple, look at Google. For those who've watched Silicon Valley, you should actually relate and find Silicon Valley is actually a really good series. It talks about a startup that was really nice, then it failed at the end. Or they made it fail, actually, because it was too good. So next question, I think this is our final question, if I'm not wrong. So at the top, you have Caleb, then Yoshi, then Spongy, then Ollie, then Kate. Kate, please go back to the top. You have like one more question, please. So you have Caleb at the top, okay. Our last question, which of the following is not a Google technology? So aside from the products that Google creates, they have technologies that they work with. So what did you write? So you have Google Cloud, Azure, TensorFlow, and Firebase. So guys, for those who are not really into tech, you have the option of choosing. Interesting. So you guys are smart. Christine, I have a feeling you're the Google Cloud. Hi.
That was by mistake.
Wow. Okay. So Azure is a Microsoft technology. So we have really interesting technologies in Google, like Google Cloud. TensorFlow is machine learning related. So it's one of the machine learning technologies that are in Google. Then Firebase is for mobile development. And you're going to get to learn a lot of these technologies when you interact with this club more. So this is just me telling you to stick around because they're really good things that you're going to see from this side as you move on, yeah? Okay, so we're done. Let us look at the podium. Number 3, we have Kate. Yes, go girl. Then Yoshi. Then at the top, we have Caleb. Nice. Okay. That is nice. Snaps to you guys. Caleb, come to me and let us discuss your virtual prize. Yeah, it can be a social media shout out. It can be swag in January, not now. It can be a sticker. I can send you the logo, you go create your own sticker. Or yeah, we can discuss your tribe. Who's Yoshi? Yoshi, please unmute and just say hi. I'm giving you this opportunity.
Hi.
Yoshi. Do we have a Yoshi in the house? Are you shy?
It's Mahali.
Okay, fine. Yoshi is shy. So then at the top we have Caleb. Caleb, I think we have a Caleb in the participant list. So yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. I think my speaker is having an issue, guys. Wait. Can you hear me now? Perfect. Okay, so congratulations to those of us who've won. I'm really sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my speaker today, but we're gonna move on to now the rest of the session. Thank you so much for playing. Yeah, it's been fun. So we're gonna go straight to, what is it called? We're gonna go back to the slides. So let me just dash back. So what is GDSC? So what is this club that you guys are attending? What is this we're talking about here as a team, or what are we here to talk about? So basically, GDSC is a program that was organized and presented by Google developers with the aim of bringing together uni students, both PhD and master, who are interested in growing as developers. Then in this club, basically students grow their knowledge through peer-to-peer learning. And through this knowledge, you're able to build solutions for local businesses and your communities. And you also get to interact with various Google technologies, like the ones you've just seen in the Kahoot, and build solutions using them. So why exactly should you join a DSC? So as I've said, GDSC is a program that was started by Google, yeah? And this means that you have connections all over. Personally, I have been connected to people all over Africa, DSC clubs all over Africa, in my home country, in Rwanda, everywhere. And this is a really good opportunity for you to actually network. Then there's the part where you learn new technologies, and this is a place to share ideas and get feedback also. It's equally a home away from home. I mean, if you have a community of people that do the same things as you, you're able to learn a lot from them all together. Then we equally gain a lot of skills, tools, and developer resources through this club. And you also gain a lot of professional and personal growth through the resources that we give you. And this is actually an opportunity to grow your leadership skills. So you have a lot of leadership opportunities in this club. And through all this, you're able to, grow yourself as a leader. We're in a leadership university, guys. This is an opportunity for you. Then, as I said, there are also very many opportunities. One of them is landing lucrative internships like Google ones. So we're going to hear Olivier telling us about that later on. So next up, we're gonna, just 1 second. I need to charge my laptop. Okay, we're all set. Sorry about that. So next, we're going to talk about basically our core team. So this is our core team. We have me, who's Catherine Modoni, and I am your GDSC lead. Then we also have now the rest of the team. I would have fixed myself here. There wasn't any space. So here we have Cedric, who is our core lead, as well as our graphic designer. Pacific, who's our social media and communications lead. So all those pretty posts you've seen on our social media of late, yeah, this has been all Pacific. Then we have Christine. Christine is a DSC alumni, and equally, she's going to be our Android facilitator. You're going to hear about those sessions in the coming slides. So maybe Cedric, Pacific, and Christine, maybe just shoot a hi in the chat so that maybe guys can get to know you. Just shoot a hi in the chat. Okay, Christine said hi. Nice. Cedric equally shot his hi. Pacific, I don't know if you're still around. Maybe you can just shoot a hi so that everyone can see who you are. Yeah, it's a pleasure knowing and working with this whole team. Yeah, and this is an amazing team. This is the team that is going to be running activities and operations in the club. So if you need to do any communications or if you need anything, any help concerning the club, please reach out to any of us and we will be happy to help. So now that you know the team and now that you know what the club is about, we want to talk about what is in store for you. Yeah, so now we have a lot of activities coming up. One of them is our study jams. So study jams are basically hands-on workshops that we have as a club, whereby you get to learn different technologies and different skills. One of them is Android and another one is machine learning. As I said, I think you heard me talk about TensorFlow. So we're going to be working with TensorFlow in machine learning and also Kotlin in Android. So in the coming weeks, we're going to be starting with Android. So if you stick with us, we're going to be having weekly series of Android study jams, and that is what you'll have the opportunity to interact with. Then next, we're going to have a hackathon. So this is work in progress. This is still work in progress. So we're going to give you details of this in the coming weeks. So be on the lookout for emails from us. This is probably going to be an interactive hackathon with another DSC club in another university. So as I said, stay tuned. Also, Hacktoberfest is coming up. Hacktoberfest is an open source event. So basically, open source is where different developers come together and you get to collaborate on certain projects through open source environments like GitHub and the like. So Hacktoberfest is basically a month where you get to collaborate on all these things all together as in the month of October as developers together. We're also going to be having speaker sessions. So we're going to have like different speakers coming in, talking about different sessions or different topics basically in tech. Or if you want them to talk about a certain technology, we're going to be having some coming in to talk about that as well. So next is our DSC Solution Challenge. So the DSC Solution Challenge is one of the biggest events in Google Developer Student Clubs all over the world. So basically, this is a challenge that comes probably at the end of the club cycle, which is normally around January to April. So it's basically a challenge where you go in teams and using Google technologies, you get to build a solution having identified a problem in your community. So I'm really hoping that for this particular cycle, after we've learned the skills we're able to learn and after we've interacted as a club, we're able to at least create one team and take one solution of ours to the DSC Solution Challenge and maybe see if we can get to the top. There aren't really cool prizes at the end of the day, just say. Yeah. So that is what you have in store for you. More is going to come in the coming years, but this is just basically for this semester and most of the stuff that we have for now. So the moment you've all been waiting for is here. I have told you there's a Googler in the house, even said it himself. So we're going to be having a guest speaker. His name is Olivier. Olivier is an ALU alumnus. He was here basically this year. He graduated in July. He's not old. Then he is our pioneer GDSC lead, like he was the first ever GDSC lead. And he's equally a site reliability engineer intern at Google. So what Olivier is gonna do is talk to us about his experience in the club and basically how his experience and his leadership at the club has propelled him to the great opportunities that he's holding right now and the money that he's making. We cannot forget the money. So Olivier, I don't know if you're around. I'm gonna give you the floor. So wow us. Bless us with your presence.
Thank you, Kate. And hi everyone. I hope you're doing well. As Kate said, my name is Olivier. I just graduated from ALU Computer Science. I was the first GDSC lead. That was 2019, 2020, and I'm currently working at Google. Yeah. So yeah, I'll try to talk to you about like the whole my experience here at the club and things that I learned through the running the club and interacting with members, and things I think are crucial to people who join the club and are important uh, to get them where they would like to be or to things they would like to do. If one of you maybe want to get a job somewhere like big tech company or something else you want to do, I'll be talking about like those kind of things and ways you can approach the club and get them out of the club. So a little bit of a story. It was June, I think 15, 2019. That's when I received a call from a friend, and he asked me if I've seen the Developer Student Club application program, and I was like, no. And then I took a quick look at it, and I was like, okay, looks interesting, but why should I apply to be a lead? And I really couldn't like convince myself to apply, but I thought it wasn't about me at all. It was about like people and community. So I was like, okay, this could bring a couple of opportunities to our students. It could bring some people together who are like-minded. So let me forget about me and apply, because this isn't about me. It's about the impact I can make. And I applied. It was on a deadline of an extended deadline. And luckily I got in and we got the club established. And as I applied, there like a couple of things I had in mind. I believe that were the main reasons why I wanted to have a club, this kind of club. And there are things I learned through the club, running the club itself, as I said. And yeah, there are things again from the club. Yeah, so I felt like I could share a few things, a few of those things. Uh, uh, it will probably help you uh, in some ways. Uh, I think the first thing is like people you get to meet and people you get to collaborate with in the club. Uh, that's a very important thing. At least for me, it was a really good thing, because there's a limit to what you can do alone, and I got to even see this through the process of applying to Google and other internships. You can really maybe people have gone through this process already. Some people have gone through this process. I know some people have gone through the process, like Christine and Cedric. It's really a tedious process, and it's not that easy process. But then having people around you, like having a couple of people you work with, makes it easy, kind of easy, and because you are there for each other and you support each other. And that's where you meet. The club is where you meet those kind of people. Trying to read comments just in case. Maybe my mic is off or something. Yeah, as I was saying, the club is where you meet that kind of people. If you want to maybe be a pro front-end engineer, you join the club, you find people are interested in DevOps, people are interested in backend, people are interested in like getting these big jobs. And then you find out that there are other people who are interested in front-end, and you get to interact with them, ask them what kind of things they're doing, how did they get there. It was a bit of a challenge when we started the club, because there wasn't like a previous establishment. We couldn't look up to anyone, but we had to like get together ourselves and figure things out and work on like building things on our own, like building this process on our own. But you're joining at this moment because there are people you can look up to. There are people who are in year 4, there are people who are in year 3, there are people who've graduated. And you can like, if you want to be a front-end engineer, as I was saying, there are people who are really good in that and have jobs in that, and you can find them in the club. If you want someone, you can actually reach out to any other member of the club, and they will link up to you. If you want someone maybe good in this technology, reach out to me. I'll link you. So the the fact that you get to meet people who have like the same ambition and who are doing the same thing you're doing was the first thing that I think actually was I got from the club and everyone experienced from the club. Excuse me a second. Yeah. And the second thing is you get to learn. Um, yeah, we had HTML and mobile development classes, Flutter, and um, I saw people coming in and yeah, getting started with Flutter from zero, from scratch. And I'm sure some of them were my classmates. Excuse me. Some of them were my classmates and ended up doing the thesis or capstone project in Flutter mobile, the mobile development framework by Google. This is one of those Google technologies. It's combined, like it goes hand in hand with Firebase in most cases. Some people joined and learned like the basics of front end and like HTML, CSS. And I'm sure they would say it was something that, was helpful to their learning process in the future and their classes in general. There's some people who joined who weren't even in tech at all. Like they're like maybe doing business, but they want to have like that little skill about like what's HTML, what's CSS, because there are many things you can do in tech that not necessarily mean coding full time. But if you have that like an idea of, oh, this is maybe Python, I need to get let's say you're a program lead. Yeah, you lead a team of developers. You don't necessarily have to code, but you have to like have that in mind. Oh, I need a front-end developer, I need a back-end developer. Those are things you get to understand, even if you're not necessarily going to be coding, but you have those kind of like image and you know what to get in your team. Even if maybe you're a tech writer or something, you don't have to be a coder to work in tech. And joining the club, attending sessions, attending events, you get those kind of skills that are always going to be valuable, even if you're not working as a coder or something. So this club is like for everyone, whether you do business or corporate challenges. Invite your friends; they can learn something here. Yeah, and the other thing is like leadership, teamwork in general. Yeah, I think I saw the Hacktoberfest, the planning that Kate presented, and working on solution challenge. If you want to work at big companies, you get like you really need to get your teamwork skills in like shape. Uh, I know maybe like at least in our cohort, we had a bad experience with the peer groups in leadership core. I don't know if it's the case for you guys, but it gave us like a very bad impression of working in groups. But something you realize is that in tech, you can't work alone. Projects are really big and you can't really do everything. So you have to interact with people. If you get to contribute maybe in Oktoberfest, you really understand how the open source ecosystem maybe works, and you understand that nobody can do it alone. There have to be some sort of interaction and collaboration with other people. So that being said, this is a good place to start in case you want to be, you know, building stuff with people. This is where you meet people who wants to be front-end engineer, as an example, and you work on a project together. One will do this page and the other will do this page. One will query the database and the other will like display the content, those kind of like things. So if you really want like to meet people to collaborate on projects, this is the club. During my tenure, we didn't get to do a lot of projects, but I think this is one big important thing that the club that makes the club really useful. And I'm glad that there are projects mentioned here, uh, Oktoberfest and Solution Challenge, and the hackathon. Yeah, it's an interesting experience. I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. I attended a lot of hackathons, and uh, yeah, I had like 3 on my resume when I applied. I'm sure it was one of the things that put me there. That was because as in like someone who actually willing to learn. Because being a CS student isn't enough for someone to believe you're actually interested in tech. So those kind of things, activities you do outside, the hackathons you attend, the clubs you belong to, the projects you work on, those are like main things that emphasize your interest in actually coding and CS and everything. Because everyone can do CS, but then what shows your passion for it? It's those out of curriculum things you go and do uh, that makes everyone think, okay, this person is actually interested. So without saying much, joining the club will really be great. It's a journey I want you to own. Uh, don't leave it up to the core team to be, providing things for you, suggest things to them, propose things, say, let's work on this project, express your interest in the things. They say you want this kind of speaker, they will bring them. Anything you want, just make it your own journey and enjoy the process, meet with people, work on things. If you want any help with maybe applying to Google and anything you think I can like give advice, reach out to me. And I hope everyone have fun. I'm out of time, so I'll stop here. If there's any question, yeah, if there's any question, let me know after. I didn't get to talk about my process applying to Google because it wasn't the main topic, but in case you're interested, you can let Kate know. We can have a session about that. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Olivier. I think maybe since we don't have, okay, like we have time, considering the parts that you have to go. So maybe in 2-3 minutes, maybe you can talk about your experience at Google, because some people here want to go there. I'm speaking for a friend. So yeah, maybe you can talk about your experience at Google. Basically, just tell the team exactly what you did there and basically how this experience helped you get that far. Maybe in like 2-3 minutes, then now we can move on to the next part.
Okay. So talking about my experience here, the internship is designed to make you learn the Google technologies, like the inside kind of working of Google and how to develop the projects. Really, interns have projects, but they are really small, tiny projects, but they make you understand that a lot of like internal components and they everything going on around at least in your for that area. For example, for me, I work in Google Play Store. Even though I work on a very small project, I kind of understand how the play infrastructure work and all those things. That's how the project is designed. It's yeah, I'll say it's a bit of learning curve, and I think if anyone thinks about getting into Google, getting an internship there, think about like learning how to learn. What are you learning out of class? What are you learning on your own? Join these kind of clubs because you get to learn things maybe you don't even like knew you needed, and it's always like gives you a pleasure if you get to see something for the first time and learn actually how it works and all those things and get a project done and that kind of thing, which is what I'm doing here. Like you see things, you're like, what's this? And then you get to learn things, and over the time you're actually using the tool to develop. So I think being in the club was part of the things, like learning things. I didn't know Flutter that much, but being in the club, I followed a few sessions and got to learn things on my own. Next time, I was actually leading some sessions when Nelson was not there. Uh, Also, leadership. If you could like take up leadership roles in the club, lead a team maybe if you want, or lead a session. Those are the kind of things people are looking for because those are soft skills that you don't necessarily learn in class, but they're very useful because, as I said, you work in teams here, you get to lead teams, you get to lead sessions if you know things really well, and like people will appreciate you if you have more skills than just your degree. You don't need to be like in CS to join the club. Uh, Join it for fun and learn coding for fun. Maybe you'll find it useful in the future. Trust me. Uh, I hope that was it. Kate.
Yeah, you've helped a lot. Thank you. Thank you for that part. I think there was a question for you on the chat from Moyo. Maybe you can respond to her in the chat as we move on to the next sessions before we close.
So I'll say applying to Google had this on my resume, and I'm sure it was one of the things that got me into the process. Like having been a club lead was one of the things that got me in the process. But the main part, the real main part was like the interview process, because like most people will really get into the system and get interviews scheduled. But as I said, I had like a team of like four. We were four, and we were all the part of the club. We learned together. We learned the technical interviews together. It was data structures and algorithms. And trust me, if I wasn't like in that support group, I wouldn't have made it. I'm sure I know myself. I would have gotten down and I'll be discouraged and drop everything. But as I said, this is like a very tedious process, and you need like a support group. Uh, it was main thing that got me there at getting to do my interviews well. But this applies to everything. If you want to go into open source, you'll find people in the club who are interested in open source. It's not an easy thing to get in, but if you have four people all wanting to get in, you give each other tip on how to do it and encourage everyone. If you want to do anything like start freelancing, if you're three people who want to start doing it, trust me, you'll find ways and help each other do it. So I think that was the main thing, like kind of connections I made in the club and friends I made there that we supported each other.
Okay, thank you. I think thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for, giving us the tips and the experience that you had. I think one really big thing that I drew from it is the power of community that comes with being in a DSC. I feel like it's really essential, as you said, when you're applying for, these big opportunities that are really tedious. So just being part of a community of people that understand what you're doing and are ready to work with you through that process is really, really important. And I feel like that is something we should foster during our time in the club, having that sense of community, having that togetherness such that if you have an issue or if you're applying for something, let the club know, let us know how we can help you and let us work with you through that particular process. Thank you so much. Thank you again. This has been really, really, really helpful. We're just going to move on to the next part, which is basically our communication channels and how exactly you can join us. So we have different platforms through which we communicate. So we have our GDSC event platform. So that is basically where you get to sign up for the events that we post. So since this is like a global program, they have like a global platform where all events by universities are held. So this is where we get to post our different events so that they can also see what we're doing at our university. So by signing into this platform, you get to have access to all the university, to all the sessions that we post. Jesus, having access to all the sessions that we post, and even getting to see what other universities are doing. Like there are hundreds of universities on that platform. So if you're really interested in seeing what other unis are doing, you can equally go join their chapters and just work with them. Yeah, so there's equally a post-event form. I really need you guys to fill this. It's gonna take less than 1 minute because it's just multiple choice. There's this which is gonna let me have your email and communicate with you in case we have any other activities coming up in the club. So Cedric or Pacific, if you don't mind, please post these 2 links, actually 3 links in the chat, so that those who want to access them can access them, please, if you don't mind. Also, we have a WhatsApp group and a Slack group. Sorry, I forgot to include that. So we have both a WhatsApp group and a Slack. So we added a WhatsApp group because we noticed that in previous sessions, we don't have, like people don't interact with Slack as much simply because not everyone is part of our workspace or everything, and WhatsApp is more accessible. So we are having this group now just so that any crucial information that we have cannot pass you by virtue of the fact that you didn't log into your Slack. But the Slack workspace is still there. I will share that with you in the WhatsApp group when you join. Then you're able to join the Slack group later on. Also, we have very beautiful social media pages. We have a Twitter page and an Instagram page, very active ones, courtesy of Pacific. So please show your love and your support, interact with our posts, like, share. What do people say? You can subscribe, follow, like, share, interact with our social media pages, look out for the events that we have coming through. And one of the posts that is going through is our Kahoot winner. I'm giving you a free shout out on our platform. So yeah, so what's coming up next is our Android Study Jam. So we have Android Study Jam starting hopefully next week. We will give you more communication on that. So we are planning to have these sessions happening every week until when we have now a big build day where we get to build an actual project using the skills that we've learned over the semester. This series is meant to run over September, October, some part of November. And if we get to finish before summatives, then we can equally start something else. But this is gonna be the main activity of the club. So please be on the lookout for emails from us, be on the lookout for communication through our social media channels. Please interact with us and come join us and let's have a good session. So I'm gonna, open the floor for any questions or comments that you guys may have. You can equally post them in the chat if you're feeling shy. By the way, Olivier, if you don't mind, you can put your details in the chat, maybe so that whoever wants to reach you can reach you through this particular platform. Welcome, Dihak. Welcome. And everyone else who's, said that they want to be here. I think we've actually come to the end of our session. Yeah, we've come to the end of our session. And I really want to thank you guys for attending. So please fill the form that has been pasted in the chat. Let me just specify the exit form. I don't know if you've posted it yet. Please post that. Please fill that before you leave so that you can have access to your email. Yeah, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm the one who's supposed to be posting that. Let me just, please don't leave until we've, I've posted the link for you guys, then you guys can access whatever we have going on for you people. So, the form is in the chat. So please, if you don't mind, please fill that before you leave. And yeah, we'll be able to have your email and be able to communicate with you in case you have anything. But all in all, thank you so much for joining. I have really, really loved interacting and working with you guys. And yeah, I hope to see you in future sessions. Thank you so much. I think all guests can leave at their own pleasure now. Thank you so much. And bye.